Evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 10 of the TDD Show. And tonight we have the master of his trade, Kryss Tominay Stone. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming on.
I'm good, thanks, mate. How are you?
Brilliant, buddy. Yeah, all good. Thank you very much, mate. Pleasure to have you on, mate. I said a minute ago before we come on live, your work is absolutely unreal.
I appreciate that.
Mate, honestly, like I say, myself and several other people have seen how good your work is. So talk to me about how did you get initially into the industry?
Well, well, at all accounts, I was going to be a professional rugby player. That's all I focused my life on growing up. And I was with Leeds in England for 2 years. Basically, I got injured, so that didn't happen. I didn't get my contract through, and so I left school, not really knowing what I was doing. It was actually my mum. She saw my godfather in the pub one night, and he was with a friend, and she said to him, "Do you know anyone that wants a labourer? My son's just left school. He needs something to do." And he went, "Yeah, I do." So, yeah, I'd just labouring, fetching, carrying, doing basic labouring stuff.
Yeah.
After, I think it was a couple of years, I wanted a trade, I wanted a career, I wanted to do something with my life, and I was going to join the police. And he said, "I can't afford to lose you. Do you want to be a stonemason?" Never knew what a stonemason was. He'd never talked to me about it. I looked into it, and he didn't say anything else for a while after that. And I went to him again and I said, "No, look, seriously, I'm leaving. I need a career." He went, "Right, I'm going to enroll you in college. You're going to be a stonemason." So I was like, "Yep, sound, looks good."
Yeah.
So I went and did it, and yeah, I've been doing it over 18 years now.
Never look back.
Pardon?
You never look back.
I wouldn't say that. It gets a bit tiring and a bit grating at times. We're the same with every job, when you've done it for so long.
Yeah.
It can get like that, can't it? But
yeah, it can get monotonous sometimes, can't it?
It can be, yeah. But no, I do love what I do, and as hard as it is, it's rewarding.
Yeah. So talk to me about the rugby then, mate. So is that from when you was at school
Yeah.
Rugby?
Started playing when I was around 10, just local, for a local club. I went up to high school, and one of the lads there, his dad came and watched us, and he says, well, by all accounts, I don't like to sound big-headed, but he went, "Wow." So he got me up to another club, which is local to us, called Morley.
Yeah.
I started playing there, played there for a few years, and I went to various trials. I played for Yorkshire. I got into Yorkshire. I captained my school. We won various cups, national cups, all sorts. And then we got asked to go to trials for Leeds.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was Leeds Tykes back then. It was Leeds Tykes in England, EDPC, which is Elite Player Development Centre.
Right.
I went along to that, and yeah, I was smashing it. To be fair, I was doing really well for a couple of years, and then I got a bad injury on my knee, which I had to have an operation on. And then
what did you have on your knee?
Pardon?
What happened to your knee? What did happen?
Well, I find out this until a couple of years ago, to be fair, and I've dealt with it since I was like 15-year-old. But one of my hips is out of line.
Oh, okay.
Taking a bad knock to my knee. And over the years of carrying on playing, I lost all cartilage and stuff in my knee. So various operations on it, and yeah, they just basically I couldn't perform to the level that was needed. So I mean, it was still upstairs, but I don't know, the body just couldn't hack it. So
that's the annoying thing, isn't it? Especially for you in that situation.
Oh yeah, it was heartbreaking because it's all I'd set my life on.
Yeah.
Training every single day. I was playing 3 or 4 games a week for my age group, older age groups. I was playing open age rugby at 15-year-old, which isn't allowed, but and it was heartbreaking at the time, but it is what it is. We deal with it, don't we, and then we move on. And it still hurts now because
I bet, mate.
I stayed involved with rugby for years and years and years after that. I still played it, not at the level I wanted to, but I still played.
Yeah.
And then about 5 or 6 years ago, I think it was, I had to knock it on head then because I'd been told, look, you need an operation on your shoulder, you need another one on your knee, your wrists and arms are going. It's time that you need to give it a bit of a rest. I'd had quite a head as well, so.
You shorten your lifespan, don't you? Especially with your work as well, because you obviously.
Yeah, well, what I do, it does knackers you as well. So.
It's a lose-lose for you, mate.
I know I've not made the best choices.
So Scotty saying you were a prop, were you?
Shit, no, I wasn't a prop.
We forgot to say this is Joe Marler's lookalike, isn't it? That's what we've got to say.
Scott, I am.
Yeah.
I think he's got a bit of a crush on Joe Marler and myself.
I was going to say, I think more yourself.
That remind him of sausages as well, so I don't know what that's all about.
Depending on what sausages we're talking here, Scott.
He does like a sausage as our Scott.
So, mate, obviously, once you've done, how long was your training for then, initially, in college?
Well, I did 3 years. So basically, you do your first 2 years and you become qualified MVQ level 2. And then back then, you used to have to get invited to go back if you were good enough to do your level 3. If you want, they just didn't bother. But I got asked to go back and do it. I wasn't going to do it at first because I said to the guy that I worked for, I just want to be at work. I just want to be learning, because I learned more.
It's better, isn't it?
I learned more at work than I did in college. I was doing it before college, so I just wanted to be there. But he said, no, do it. It'll be better for you. So I did, and yeah, it has benefited me now that with working for myself. It's benefited me able to set out my own work and manage what I'm doing a bit better. So it was worth it in the end. But yeah, it was 3 years I did at college.
So yeah, obviously you've gone from the college, and then you went working with your previous employee for what, 17 years, you said?
Just over 17, yeah. About 17 and a half years I worked for the same company from being 16-year-old up to last.
Yeah, it's a long time, isn't it? Long time to spend with someone.
Yeah, it was, mate. Yeah, I was there. Well, basically, I was there before it was even the company is now. I put one of the fences in down the one side of the yard. When I was first there was nothing there. And the amount of people that came and went while I was there was unreal. I must have worked with hundreds of people in that place.
It's like that though, isn't it? It's non-stop. You get people in, out. They try the trade, realise how hard it is, and they're like, actually, this is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, and then they do one, don't they?
Yeah, I think that's what it was, mate. It's not easy. It's hard work. It's a stone about all day long, and in all types of weather. It knocks it out of you, and a lot of people just can't do it.
They can't, mate. I think for myself, I always say you've got to have a certain mindset, haven't you, to do it? Like you said, all weather. If you've got to work late, early, whatever, you've got to have a certain mindset to be able to do it, haven't you?
Oh yeah, it's long hours. It's hard graft. It's not for everybody. And I worked with a lad. There's another lad that's on social media a lot. James Robinson, my good friend.
Yeah.
Kryss Tominay. I don't know if you've seen his stuff.
Oh yeah, I've seen.
Yeah, I worked with him for about 16 years. I worked with him, and he's the same, mate. The amount of people that he saw coming and going. We talk about it all the time. It's just not everyone can do it.
They can't, mate. Like I said, it's not for the weak-minded or weak-hearted, is it? Because you can give up so easily when it's just such shit work and crap work. Like you said, it was pissing down, and you're just stood there, and you're like, "What am I doing?"
Yeah, that's what it is, mate. I think it's the weather more than anything. You're outside. You can't do. Not so much what I do now. You've got to be inside because obviously I use a lot of power tools and things like that.
Yeah.
But before all that, you've got to be outside, and if it's raining, you've just got to put some waterproofs on, suck it up, and carry on.
Get on with it, yeah. Because you're doing more of architectural stuff now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm doing a lot more of basically. I'm getting the piece of stone, I'm making it, but then I'm fitting it. So basically, there's a few types of stone. There's banker masons, which I predominantly am. I've done that for a long time, banker mason. So
just explain the difference between them, mate, as you go along, just so anyone that's not too sure about what you mean? So,
Yeah. So a banker mason is basically what I was for 17 years. I get a piece of stone, my templates, drawings, make sure it was all ready and right. Then it'd go on a pallet and disappear. I'd never see it again.
Yeah.
Fixer masons, which mainly work on site. So once I'd made the stone, it'd go to site, and if a builder wasn't putting it in, a fixer mason would be. So they'd fix the stones that somebody else had made,
Right.
or their stone that's already in. You know, that's predominantly what a fixer mason does. So there's two different types really. Whereas I was a banker mason for a long, long time. Now I'm getting more into the fixer mason side of things. So I'm on site. I'm putting in the stones that I've made. I'm chopping out.
That's a bit for you.
Pardon?
More enjoyable for you then, isn't it?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Because I get to see the whole process now.
That's it. Yeah, you get to make it, see it, fit it, job done, see the finished result.
That's it, mate. You know, I can rock up onto site, have a look at a piece of stone, get my pictures, my dimensions that I need, make some templates. I get the new piece of stone, I make that, I then go back to site, cut out the old piece, and then fit the new piece in. So you're seeing it from all different angles. You know, it's from start now. Whereas before it was just piece of stone, template, drawings, make it, gone.
So what do you use then for your templates and stuff then?
Well, I was trained at college to do them out of lead, plastic.
Okay, yeah.
But you don't tend to do that much in my side of stuff. When you're working on minsters and things like that, they still do it that way.
Okay.
A lot more time. Whereas we just use plastic now, basically. We'll just use plastic. You should see some fucking templates of before. When builders have come in and they've said, look, I need this making, and they've drawn it out on a piece of cardboard or
typical builder style.
They've nailed a couple of pieces of wood together and tried chop sawing around a corner and stuff like
that. Yeah, how am I supposed to fucking do this? Like,
how am I not meant to know it's going to fit? You know, it's all straight lines on it. It's going like this all down. It can be hard work, but like you say, you know, it's when you see it done and finished and in, it's rewarding.
100%, mate. So obviously, you mentioned to me about you winning an award locally. So how did that come about?
Well, basically, where I live, the town where I live, Murfield, is very big on Remembrance Day. You know, we hold apparently one of the biggest marches on Remembrance Day.
Right.
It's very, you know, military based around here, and what it was is some kids had vandalised the cenotaph. Everybody congregates and they hold a silence and everything for it there. But he had noticed that I don't know how they'd done it, but they'd scratched the names and all over it.
Really? What for?
God knows, they just scratched the name all over it, and it was a mess anyway. So we've got a local Facebook group around here, and somebody had put a picture in it saying, look, who can come and fix it? And I just happened to be looking, and I commented on it and said, look, how come I fix it for you? I'm a stonemason.
Yeah.
Ooh, I live 2 minutes away.
I'll
come and do it. So I rocked up one Saturday morning. I sorted it all out. And I had the newspapers came down and got pictures of me and interviewed me. And then where I live as well, they hold an awards thing every year where the community vote for who they want to win what. And there's an award for above and beyond in the community. So people that do charity work and things in the area. And I think 95% of the votes, and there were thousands of votes, were for me.
Oh, nice, mate.
Yeah, so I had to go to the award ceremony, and I got a nice shield and all sorts of things. And
you turn up Rocky style, mate.
Yeah. And then the year after that, I got to the hold. I don't know what they're called, but you know, where you go to a farm show or something, and there's stalls and everything like that. I can't really, they call it Murfield Show, basically. Right. They asked me to open that one year as well.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I got a lot of recognition for that, which was good.
Yeah, it's nice getting the recognition of the work you've put in for the community and obviously the quality work you do anyway.
It was, yeah, it was really good. I mean, it probably benefited me a little bit more if I'd have been set up on my own at that point.
Yeah.
But you know, I still to this day get people coming up to me where I live and saying, "Well done for it," and they'll buy me a drink, or you know, "Oh, remember when you did this?" and "Oh, would you come and have a look at this for me?" and "Will you come and do?" I'm always getting recommended to do work around here because of that mainly.
It's nice now, obviously, you set up on your own. So you've been on your own, what did you say, a year now, was it?
Yeah, it was a year this weekend just gone.
Anniversary, mate.
I
So,
celebrate.
yeah, so how did you, let's talk about your initial setup then, from going employed to self-employed. How did you find the process?
I thought I was all ready and I was set and I was gonna, I was fine. I had it all in my mind, so I had to go out and buy all my own tools because the tools were taken off me when I left where I worked before. Even though they were mine, they'd been mine for 17 years. You know,
Right.
everything. So I had to go out and buy it all again anyway. So I had a big outlay at first to get everything that I needed. But I had a few jobs lined up that I thought, yeah, you know what? While I'm doing these ones, more will come in. I'll be fine. You know, I didn't really think how quick I can actually work and get things done. So I worked through them quite quickly.
Yeah.
And I was, oh, what do I do now? You know, so then I was chasing work. I was trying and pushing it. If anybody asked me if they wanted something, I was like, do you want this? Do you want this? You know, I was trying to really push myself into work. I've got a lot of friends that are builders and who are in the same sort of industry, so they were giving me days here, day there. You know, hard at first. Well, not necessarily at first because I was all right at first. It was when that I'd done them jobs, and then I was like, shit, I'm struggling a bit here now. But then it worked round, and yeah, like I was saying to you before we came on live, I'm subcontracting for some friends. Well, not they weren't necessarily friends at first. They are now.
Yeah.
They're a brilliant set of lads, and I really do enjoy working for them. And they said to me, "Look, we've got all this work. Will you stick with us and help us with it all?" So yeah, I'm there with them lads, and I'm loving it now.
But it's nice if you're enjoying it. It makes it a lot more comfortable, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying who I'm working with. I'm enjoying seeing the different things, and I'm enjoying learning as well because, like I was saying before, I just mainly made stuff. So now, as I'm doing things, I'm learning a shitload of stuff as well. So I'm really appreciative of that, you know, and doing different things and learning different things. And the lads that I'm working with, they're all sound lads. So
That's good, mate. So would you say it was initially after a couple of months, so you had about a couple of months' work booked up, ready to go when you first went self-employed, and then after that was the spot of dryness?
yeah, it was definitely that. You know, the first couple of months I was fine. I did have a family member that said to me, "Look, I'll cover your bills and everything for you."
Yeah.
So about that, so my godmother did that for me. She sorted that and helped me with that.
That's a big help, isn't it? Because that is the main stress, isn't it?
That pressure off me.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, so that first couple of months were fine, and then it was after that, and I was like, "Oh, I'm a bit stuck now." My daughter is only young; she's nearly 2, and my mum and my partner's mum, they share having her when we were both at work and things.
Yeah.
Had her operation on her arm, and she couldn't have my daughter on a morning, so I was having to stay at home and look after her on a morning, and then I was dropping her at my partner's mum's, and that
It's tricky, isn't it?
hard. You know, it was really hard. I wouldn't have been able to make it work if I wasn't self-employed though. So because I was self-employed and I did jobs lined up, we got through it. You know, we got through it. It was hard, but I managed it more as well. If I'd have been working where I was before, it wouldn't have worked out as well because I wasn't on a great deal of amount of money.
Right, yeah. It would have been more stressful for you, wouldn't it, in that period?
Yeah, it would have been a lot harder. So it had its swings and roundabouts. You know, it was that first couple of months were fine. Then it got really hard, and it played a lot. Going from working like 5, 6, 7 days a week non-stop to not. It played with my mind a little bit, and it did.
Yeah.
We got through it, and now I've turned the corner now, and yeah, I've got a lot of work on, so I'm
You don't have
really.
to worry now, do you, mate?
Pardon?
You don't have to worry as much now, do you?
The wood is gone. You know
Yeah.
that just with doing all this work for these lads on in York. You know, they're a company called Keystone Conservation. They're brilliant, really good at what they do, and I'm really.
So that's probably the biggest thing, isn't it, for any self-employed person, is the fact of thinking, where and when am I going to get my next job?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, it's like for 17 years, I never had to worry about that. You know,
That's it, yeah.
knew what I was getting when I was getting it, and I didn't have to worry about nothing. And then when I went on my own, I thought it'll be fine. I'll be able to do this, do that. Doesn't always work out like that, does it?
No, these are the little things that people don't obviously see and realise, do they?
No. I mean, I get quite a lot of questions because obviously I put a lot of stuff on Instagram, and I get questions of quite a lot of few people. I can't get my words out, but a few people saying, "How did you do it?" and "What did you do to do it?" and you know, and all I can do is give them what I did
Yeah,
and what I'd suggest doing now.
yeah.
So it's hard. I mean, I've only been doing it for a year, so I'm still learning.
That's it, mate. It's like everything. It's just down to experience, isn't it? Because everyone still learns, throughout every process of every, business or work or anything like that. You're always learning.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think if you're not learning, then it's not gonna be the best for you if you're not still learning.
Mate.
Like where I was before, I was it was the same stuff day in day out, and I never challenged myself. You know,
Yeah.
it sort of bugged me down a little bit, and I was stuck. Shall I say?
You get complacent. You get stuck in your own ways, and you just get complacent, and you're happy to plod along, aren't you?
Yeah, which I mean, I'm not slating where I worked before. I mean,
No.
and I enjoyed working there for all them years. Otherwise, I would have stayed there. You know.
Yeah, you just wanted that. You had a bit more drive that you wanted to take that hunger somewhere else, didn't you?
Yeah, it was for me. You know, I wanted to do what I did for me because I'd done it. I wanted a challenge. I wanted to try myself at something different.
Yeah. So how for you then? So obviously you've been doing it for a year now. How have you found the business side of things then? Have you done much into that? Because that is a very tricky thing, even for myself, and I know a lot of other people are similar. We're not taught anything about business, so as soon as we got on our own, we got a bloody clue what we're doing properly.
To be honest with you, mate, I'm still around it. You know, I'm still struggling a little bit with certain things. It's more of finding the time to do all the quotes and price. You know, I'm still learning to set time to do that. So at the moment, I'm sort of working six days a week, and then I'm trying some days 7 days a week. I'm trying to then on a Sunday spend time with family.
Yeah, it's just me. You got family still as well, haven't you? As well as trying to run your own stuff.
I'm not just trying to run a business. I'm not just trying to work. I'm not trying to do this. I'm a dad. I'm a
Yeah,
fiance. I need to spend time with them as well. So I'm sort of neglecting the business side of things, where you know, getting everything in order, getting the paperwork in order, invoicing, quoting, pricing, you know, everything like that. I'm still learning to set a day or half a day to one side to do that.
yeah, it is super tricky, man. Like I said, I've been doing it for myself for 8 years now, and it's only been the last, I'd say, 6 to 9 months where it's clocked on to me the actual business side of things.
Yeah.
So like soon we're going to be doing on our socials, on our YouTube channel and stuff. We're going to be doing more of a business side of things and try and help out others, because what I've learned recently is what I've never known, and I want to give that help and that information to other people to try and help them, because I know other people are going to be in the same situation as I was, absolutely clueless of how to run stuff properly, as in the business side, the numbers side of things. So if I can help people to try and progress in that, it's going to help a lot of people. I'm sure of it.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, and trying to help people and just but help them from your experiences. I love stuff like that, and
That's it, mate. Yeah.
anybody messages me asking advice, I reply to every single message without a fail. You know, sometimes I can have quite a few. Some days I don't. You know, my page isn't that big, but it is growing. Hopefully, it will get bigger and bigger. But yeah, I try and reply to every message, even if it's just somebody saying, "What are you doing?" You know, I just think trying to help other people is the best way to be, really.
Yeah, it's the way it should be. And have you found it the same as like for myself? I've been doing social since like Septemberish properly. As soon as you start meeting people like yourself, I've Scott on last week from Bros Carpentry, people like that. You start meeting people, you start connecting with them, you start talking, you realise how helpful people are and how nice they are, and you just connect and you can help each other out with any little thing, which is what I really like about it all.
Without a doubt. I mean, some of the people that I've met through Instagram are some of the best people I've ever met.
Yeah.
You're willing to help and give you advice, go through things with you. You know, I started the whole Instagram thing last year, so I got recommended. Somebody is a very, very popular face on Instagram, a proper Yorkshire builder.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's quality, isn't he?
He's one of the best people I've ever met. It really is. He messaged me because somebody had recommended me personally to make it.
Yeah.
So I went out and he said, "Look, we'll do some videos. We'll do this and we'll do that when you come out." And I got there
Before you do videos? Was this before you were doing videos, or
before I was doing anything. Yeah,
yeah?
I just randomly put a picture up on Instagram every now and again.
Yes, yeah. So that's what I was doing at the time.
Yeah, whereas he's constantly on it, you know. And as soon as I got out of the car, I had his camera in my face, and he were asking this and stuff, you know. And just all day, it was just constant. But I loved it.
Yeah, it's a shock. The first initial stage is like, this is weird. What's going on here? There's a camera here. You got to try. I always find that when you put on the spot with a camera in your face, you're like overthinking stuff, and you're like, and the simplest of little things you can't remember, or whatever. I'm like, it's just a camera. I can't just talk fucking normally. Do you know what I mean?
He said that to me. He said, "Look, because I mean, I didn't do any of this until I went and did that job for him." And he said, "Look, the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll get."
Yeah, 100%.
Right, you know. And then I started watching other people like Dave Elwood, Madden Builders, Broad Lads, you know, all these top lads that have massive followings on.
Yeah.
And I just used to watch their stuff, and I was like, you know, I'm going to do this a little bit more. And I spoke to Dave Elwood, and he was like, just get your face on camera. Just get your face. Like, why would people want to see this?
This hunk of a man.
Oh, yeah.
Or if you're Scott, you're just loving a good sausage.
Well, yeah, so I've met some incredible people on Instagram, and I've been down to meet them. I've met a few of them. You know, a few are coming on my stag do into my wedding. You know,
wicked.
You can meet some. There is very good, helpful people out there that just want to help you.
Yeah, genuine people as well. That's what you want.
Some of the most down to earth, genuine people I've ever met.
Yeah, like I said, you can message them or they message you, and it's just back and forth. You know, you're open with each other. It's nice. It's not like, oh, he's going to take work away from me or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Because some people are like that, and I don't understand it. There's enough work for fucking everyone.
There's more than enough work out there for everybody.
So, why do you get some? I don't know if it's like similar to where you live, but you always get the same people. They're just fucking. They don't want to help you at all. They see you as competition, and they just basically want to try and do everything they can to beat you or whatever like that. It's just like, what's the fucking point?
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say, mate. Yeah, I know. Yeah, there's that in everything, isn't there? You know, in every trade. You know, and people trying to take credit for your work, which is something that really bugs me.
Yeah, I bet, mate. Because obviously your work's mint, so if someone's trying to say that, I'll be like, fuck off.
I didn't really, but it's hit a nerve, shall we say?
Yeah, I can imagine, mate. So obviously you said you've done some work for Archbishop of York as well.
Yeah, that was a fair few years ago now. That was for the company that I used to work for.
Oh, okay, yes. What did you do there then?
Pardon?
What did you do for them?
Well, I made a cross for one of the buildings in his grounds or in one of the church grounds or something. So it was this big fancy cross with rolls on it, and it was chamfered and all. So there's pictures of it on my Instagram.
Yeah.
But that's still standing. Someone told me. So I think I got a message a while ago saying, "Oh, your cross is still up" and stuff like that. So that was one of the. Pardon?
I said you've done the right job. It's still there.
Yeah, I must have done. Yeah, I mean, I didn't put it in. I just made it, and somebody else put it in. So yeah, must have been all right because it's still standing. But that was it was a nice one to do with that.
100%, mate. So quickly talk through the process then. So obviously you go through your template. So how do you scale it and stuff then? You scale it to certain measurements, and then obviously you cut that out of the plastic. You say for your template.
Well, yeah, basically, sometimes we will. So if the piece of stone's already in and it's knackered, we try to cut it out to where it's still quite strong. You know, it's still in one. So then we'll put a bit of plastic up to it and we'll just draw around it.
Right. Okay.
And then take that down and cut it out to size, sit it on the new stone, squared it through, and then we're away, you know, and we just go for it. But other times, obviously, there's things that have got different molds and different returns. So we have to take measurements and then almost put a reverse template on to see if it fits. So we'll sit up to the old one, see if it sits and it looks right and everything runs in, and then we can transfer that onto a new piece.
So I'm guessing then, obviously, once you got your template in place and you've marked it, is there initial set of tools that you use to get rid of the excess waste that you don't need, and then you go into the finer detailing tools?
Yeah, so I will use my 9-inch grinder, my 5-inch grinder, and something like it's an air hammer. You know, so your chisel goes into it and it vibrates and you can push it through.
So that's what you do that, and then have you got your finer detailing tools as well then that you use, or is it a lot about by hand or?
Yeah, the fine is all done with little chisels and mallets. You know, I've got chisels that go down to like 5 millimeters, up to like 4-inch. You know, it depends. Big variation. It depends what I'm doing. You know, I've got chisels that are rounded. I've got chisels that are just claws. I've got hundreds of chisels. You know,
I was gonna say that you wouldn't think there'd be so many different choices of chisels, would you?
no, you wouldn't do. But I mean, quite a lot of people asking me about chisels and why do I use this for this and why do I use that for that. You know, most trades. I mean, carpenters have a lot of chisels. You know. But yeah, we've literally probably a chisel for every different type of fucking piece of stone.
I bet you're sick of seeing stone now, aren't you?
It can get a bit tiring, yeah.
Yeah, because I said some of them are big, massive, bulky pieces of stone. Obviously, you see in your videos and that. And doing that all day, fucking hell, and you got to flip it over to do the back or the side of it.
Yeah, some of them are quite heavy. So ones that I've been doing recently for a fancy house in York, they're called apex stones.
Right.
So basically the building, you know, they sit on like pillars and they just have like weather vanes and things put into them. Well, these came in square blocks and I think they were about 350 kilograms.
Oh, fucking hell.
So I mean that's heavy.
Yeah.
And I'm there on my own, and I've got to move them around and pull them and twist them and lift them up and lift them down. I mean, I'm not lifting them completely up, but I've got to roll them up,
flipping them over
and things like
that. A lot of weight in it.
Oh yeah, they're not light, but it's a good job. I'm a bit chunky.
Yeah, lucky you used to be a rugby player, mate. So you got a bit of strength there as well.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, it's more about technique as well now. You know, after doing it for so long, I know how to do it. Basically,
that's it, mate. It's all about working smarter and not harder. That's all it's all about, mate.
I've always said that. You know, it's easy. It's easy when you know how.
100%. That's it. So for yourself, then, obviously going on your own, what have you found like the pricing being like for you? So obviously going to a job pricing up and that. Have you had? Because obviously we're going through potential recession and stuff like that. Have you found it difficult at all for like do you do a day rate set or do you do a price on a per job or something like that? How do you work?
I've found it a complete and utter nightmare. You know, I think people think it's done in 2 minutes. You know, everything is by hand. It doesn't take 2 minutes to do. And sometimes I feel I get asked, "Oh, how much for one of these? And how much would you charge for this?" And I tell them, and it's like, "Oh, really? Well, that's expensive." And we're like, "Well, I do everything and
By hand, yeah.
some big fancy machines that do it.
Yeah.
It's time. So I try to. It depends on what I'm doing price wise. If I'm doing a carving that I've never done before, I'll do it on a day rate.
Yeah.
If it's because I'm still learning the carving side of things, I've only done that really for about 6 years.
Okay.
Or what I did was solid stone masonry. So like your windowsills, fireplace,
Bigger bits.
Fancy stuff still, but not the carving side of things. So if it's a carving I've not done before, I'll tend to do that on a day rate.
Yeah.
There's enough to cover myself. I'm not too greedy. I'm not one of these that wants to rinse every single penny out of everything. I'll just make sure I get what I feel like I deserve, basically.
Yeah.
Then on other jobs that I know how long they take me, because I've done quite a lot of them. It's like the lettering side, I don't know if you've seen me doing the lettering.
Yeah, that's mint.
Yeah, well, that I have done thousands upon thousands of letters.
Yeah.
So I know roughly how long something's going to take me. So with something like that, I charge per inch of each. So say if you've got a 4-inch letter, I'll charge per inch on each letter.
Yeah, okay, makes sense. You know roughly how long it's going to take you then, don't you?
Yeah, I know how quick I can do that. So I'll charge so much per inch, and then I know I can make some good money doing that because I'm quite quick at it.
Yeah, which helps, doesn't it? It's but again, then if you say it to some people, it's going to be this price, but obviously I can get it quicker because I'm experienced. But that's what you're paying for. You're paying for experience, aren't you?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, I don't know who said it, but there was something about people nowadays want to pay for time and not quality.
Yeah,
Or is it?
Hey, I know exactly what you're on about. It's like you got 3 choices or whatever, isn't it? It's like you can only have 2, but you can't have the other or something like that. I know exactly what you mean. It's like you don't want the time spent on it, but then it's going to cost you money.
Yeah.
And it's the other way around. It's just people got to realise that.
Or do you want it rushed and it'll be less?
Yeah.
It depends, doesn't it? And other things, it's like cutting. Don't think people take into consideration like when you're cutting stone, I've got to buy them blades, and the blades,
they're not cheap. No, like I said, like obviously the reel you've put up today, obviously about the blades, the difference of blades. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that for instance, that first blade that I'm using in that video is a cheap blade.
Yeah.
That buy from like Screwfix or Tool Station or somewhere. I think I think it might have been about 20 quid.
Yeah.
The other blade that I use from Elite Stone Tools, I only use their blades now.
Yeah.
They are, well, they're perfect for stone. It says it, and they do give me discount now, and I put reels up for them, and they send me tools out, and they're always saying, "Oh, do you need this? And can we get you this? Can we get you that?" and things. So they're really good.
That's good, yeah. So it works out both ways, then, doesn't it?
Of course it does, yeah. They send me stuff if I need it, and I'll do a video and put it up. And I mean, they've just messaged me now. It's just popped up on my phone saying that video is getting quite a lot of likes and stuff. So it's good, I mean, they help me out, so I'm
So it's way forward, isn't it? You got to help each other out, but obviously you doing that video, you're giving people the knowledge that they might not know, showing them the difference between the two.
Yeah, without a doubt, mate. And I'm not just saying that they're good blades because they send me blades. And I mean, I do still buy them as well. I don't get them for free. But other people have then commented on me saying, "Oh yeah, they're brilliant. They're amazing blades." It is good, but I don't think customers take it into consideration when you're cutting up big pieces of stone, and you'll rinse through these blades.
Oh yeah, easily. They don't last forever, do they? Christ.
No, I mean, back to the Apex stones that I were doing. That was a really soft stone, and they were eating blades.
Yeah.
Go through about 4 or 5 blades doing one stone. 40, 50 quid a blade.
Yeah, it's a lot of money just on blades alone, isn't it?
It adds up.
100%. So do you, obviously in your work before you, obviously with the lads that you're working with now, was you doing any sort of contract and stuff like that? So when you were doing any jobs for people or anything like that?
In what sense? Contract?
So like a big thing that I do now, and I try and advise other people on, is contract agreements.
Oh no, I do. One of my good friends, he actually ripped me something out.
Yeah.
And have this with you. If you quote up for a job, you've got everything that you need on here. Get them to sign it, and then it's you both. I never actually got around to doing it, but obviously now I don't need to because I'm doing all the other lads. But it would be something that I would use and I would do definitely.
100%. Yeah, these are the little things that I want to try and enlighten and bring to people's knowledge. That these are the little things that we need to do, because gone are the days of the good old word of mouth, the handshake agreement. Do you know what I mean? It don't work anymore, does it really?
No, I've had it recently. I made a piece of stone for somebody recently, and he then asked me to do some other bits on it, which I did, no extra charge.
Yeah.
He asked me to deliver it to his house, which was an hour. I did it, no extra charge. He then wanted me to go back and put some extra bits in it. I said I would do it. Again, no extra charge. And then he asked me to do something else to it. He asked me to seal it. And I told him, no, it doesn't need, stone needs to breathe. If that's sealed and there's any damp that gets in behind it, it's going to damage the stone. It's going to make it a mess. But he was adamant he wanted sealing. So I said, yes, fine, I'll come and do it. And again, I wasn't charging him for it. I wasn't.
Yeah.
I'd done all this extra work for charging and I even delivered it, and I was going to come back out and do it again. Well, because I got really busy, it did take me longer to get back there than what I wanted to do, but things happened. And then I got a message off him, loads of different missed calls. I had a bit of a family emergency and I couldn't be there.
Well, it's more important, isn't it?
Family comes first. Woke up the next morning to a threatening text message off him saying, if it's not done within 7 days, I'm going to get my solicitor involved, etc. Yeah. I'm not being funny, but you've had all this extra stuff done for free.
Yeah.
I'm doing this again for you for free, and you're threatening me with. But I'd broken no contract. I'd broken no terms and conditions.
Yeah.
So
piss.
I don't know what he were going to achieve by getting his solicitor involved for them to turn around and say, well, he's done nothing wrong.
Yeah, that's it. But it's like you receiving that, you're sat at the other end thinking, why the fuck am I getting this?
Exactly.
Like I said, you've gone above and beyond for him, and then you're receiving this threatening text for no reason whatsoever.
Well, I mean, yes, I do. It did take me longer to go back and what I said I would do. It did take me longer to do that, but I got that busy. But what I thought he'd understand is all this free stuff that he'd had.
Yeah.
All the extras and, me taking it out there and stuff like that in my car. And it wasn't a small piece of stone, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just take.
Yeah, and I think a lot of them think they can push the little guy around. I'm a little independent guy that works on my own. And
yeah.
I think what is because I'd given so much, they thought they could just control me.
Yeah, but you do though, because I've been in that same situation as you, buddy. You go above and beyond because you're like, oh, I want to get my name out there. I want to try and deliver as good, best service I can. You keep pushing yourself out there. And in the end, you can think, why the fuck do I keep doing all this? And if I'm getting shat back on for no reason.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And I talked to a few of my friends about it, and they were just saying, "I'll just fuck him off."
Yeah.
Tell him to do one basically. But I didn't want that because, like you're saying, it's word of mouth. You're trying to put yourself out there. You're trying to make sure you do your job.
Yeah.
I didn't want that in the end of it. So I went out there and I did what he asked me to do, even though I told him not to do it.
Yeah.
And then I left, and I never heard. He never messaged me to say thank you or nothing.
Yeah, it's just fucking shit, isn't it, mate? Let's say you don't deserve that. It's not like you've taken the pure piss and you've whacked them with a triple double bill for all this extra work and that.
Could have doubled the bill of what I charged. You got it for cheap anyway. So it is what it is, and you live and learn, don't you? I've learned from that.
It, mate. If you don't learn, you're not going to get anywhere. Every day's a learning curve, isn't it?
That's what that contract thing that you're on about. I think that is definitely the way to go. You both sign it, what you've agreed on, and then you just stick to that. If they want any extras, they want any more doing, then you price that as well, and you give them another contract and you sign that.
Yeah, so like for myself, even now, it was like a case of you got extra works because also we do like whole renovations or extensions, so we do like the whole project basically. There's virtually every time there's going to be slight tweaks and changes or additionals. So yeah, so we always add a variation or additional works order contract, add that into it as well now because it's just so you're covering yourself because people think us as builders or people within construction are just there to take the piss. We there turn up and just take our time or we plod, because not everyone's we shouldn't be all tarnished with the same brush.
No, and I think there is a lot of that in there. A lot of people, if one person gets a bad job done, then they sort of associate all people within construction.
Yeah.
And it's not the case. There is some amazing people out there that do amazing work. Yeah. Hard with that same brush.
100%. But as I said, and then obviously on the other spectrum, we've got a business to run. So we've got to think about, all the overheads. This is what people don't think about is we've got all the overheads to pay for. We've got guys to pay for. You've got all these little things, these extras, and obviously you've got to make a bit on top, else it's absolutely pointless.
Well, yeah, I mean, why are we doing what we're doing if it's not to make money, to make our lives more comfortable? With
100%, mate.
How everything's going at the moment, everything's going up, everything.
Yeah.
I don't think customers sometimes realise that, well, hang on a minute, that wood's gone up, or that bag of cement's gone up, or that stone's gone up. It goes up for us, so in turn it has to go up for them as well.
It soon adds up, doesn't it? A little tweak in prices here and there soon adds up, and obviously we're not there to foot the bill because it's we're doing the project for you.
Not on our house, is it?
Yeah, that's it, mate. Precisely. Yeah. Well, buddy, thank you very much for coming on tonight. It's been a pleasure having you on.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's been fun.
Have you can you just let people know where they can find you on social media? What platforms you're on?
Yeah, I'm on all major platforms. I'm on TikTok, Tominay Stone's number 0, I think it is. Instagram, Tominay_Stone. Facebook, Tominay Stone and Restoration. LinkedIn, I think I'm just under Kryss Tominay on LinkedIn. I think that's all of them.
Yeah, like we were saying before we come alive, mate, all the content stuff and the social media is relentless, isn't it? Trying to keep on top of it all.
Stops, mate. Everyone goes to bed in my house. Mrs. goes up. Kids are in bed, and then I'm sat there editing videos, trying to make they're all right. Know which ones I'm putting up at what time and what hashtags to use, what music to use.
All these little things, mate. It's so time consuming, aren't they?
Oh, it's like you said, it's relentless, And then when you put your heart and soul into something, you put it up on social media and it flops.
Yeah, yeah. You think it's gonna be mint, and then you're like, "What the fuck?" And then you just throw something together, chuck up, and it does all right. You're thinking, "What is going on here?"
Get a video of some idiot dancing around in a skimpy pair of shorts or something, and it's 55 million times. And
mate, I saw one the other day. Right, it was literally someone's done a bird's eye view of an egg, and it's just rolled off the table, splattered on the floor. That was it. It's had 48 million likes and had about 100 odd million views.
Ridiculous, isn't
it? Just from an egg smashed on the floor.
And I could stand here and throw eggs at my wall, and then this is kicking my head in when she come in. But
can you try it?
I can see if I can get it. I've got a tripod here, so I'll set it up. She's out. When I car pull up, I'll throw some eggs at the wall when she's walking in. See
just see her reaction, mate. I'll be mint.
See me next videos. I will have my face will be out of here.
Yeah, you'll be battered.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, appreciate it tonight, mate. I said, everyone, if you can head over to Kryss's social media pages, give him a follow, see his stuff because it's mint. All the work he does is amazing. So thank you very much for coming on, buddy, and I will speak to you soon.
Yeah, thanks a lot, mate.
Take care, dudes.
Take care, mate. Thank you.
Yes, buddy. Bye.